One in five. 1 in 5 teens qualify as clinically depressed. That's around 20% of teens that are depressed and never seek treatment. And why? Why can't teens get help or ask about depression? Well, depression is a pretty uncomfortable topic as is because no one wants to openly admit that they have a problem. Depression is a problem that is very much real. 350 million people are affected by some form of depression, and 11% of them are children under the age of 18. There are many different types of depression. My English teacher, who was brave enough to tell us about her personal experiences with depression, told us about 3. Think of it as a pyramid, and depression is on the bottom. Depression is a very broad topic because many people are affected by just generalized depression. Then there's anxiety, which is a specific type in which you're constantly worried about something or someone and your mind constantly races. At the top is manic depression, also known as bipolar disorder, in which people suffer from mood swings of extreme happiness to extreme sadness and have crazy outrage tantrums and behaviors. Families, children, adults, it can affect anyone at any time. I strongly believe schools are to blame. And why? Well, because school is a place where you learn all the important things you need in life. We learn about math, science, history, and important things, but this is important too. If kids in high school don't even know what depression is, how can they know if they have it or not? It's a trick question. They don't. They don't know about depression, anxiety, mental illness, because it's not important, but one day it could be. It's ridiculous that schools don't at least touch on the topic just to bring general awareness to kids. Schools, teachers specifically feel like they can't talk to students about this because it's uncomfortable. They're basically treating it like it's not even real, but it is. And that's what bothers me. It seems like no one cares about mental illness until it personally affects them. Like me. I used to joke about mental illness because I was ignorant to the topic. And after my sister was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, my mind changed. I looked at these people as actual people and not as crazy weirdos or just statistics. I learned that this is where the suffering and silence begins. Kids not talking about mental illness because they're scared and will refuse treatment. Over 50% of Americans with major depression don't seek treatment. It all goes back to the roots. School is a major cause of depression and anxiety for high school students, and this is the age where depression usually pops up. Mental illness is hereditary, which means it comes from your parents, and it remains dormant until you're roughly 16 to 18 years old. Depression isn't always inherited, which means that it can get passed on to your children, and depression isn't always clinical. We all get depressed about something at one point or another, but if that depressed, sad feeling still lingers, that's when you know you're depressed. But no one wants to have depression, because when you're depressed, you feel like you're drowning, like you're stuck in a dark place and you can't find the light. You don't live life if you're depressed. You feel heartless, cold, detached, alone. Depression affects us loving one another and violates our right to live a happy life. Our dignity turns to shame in a second, all because of depression. Jesus teaches us to be merciful, to love our neighbor, to help our neighbor. So why aren't we helping them? Why aren't schools doing something about this instead of pushing it aside like it's nothing? Well, because depression is a problem that affects you. Depression's in your mind, your thoughts, your actions, your life, and your family. And only you can help yourself if you're depressed. If you don't want help, or if we don't help them, then the problem will only manifest into future problems that are a lot worse. So it's important to catch depression now before it ruins someone's life. It's a cheap cop-out saying we can't do anything when we can. We need to be that hand to reach out and save them from drowning in their own thoughts. We need to offer help because there are those who need it and are afraid to say so. We can fix this. We have to bring awareness to kids and help them see the signs of depression before it turns into anything worse. Denying it isn't working anymore. Even if schools offer outside help, like the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance, to talk with personal support groups or to get help, or in extreme cases of depression, of manic episodes, call the NDMA at 800-826-3632. And if you guys want to know more about depression or have any questions, visit www.helpguide.org to learn more. Thank you for listening.